Hey, what's up, DIY people? We got our problem of the day today. We got a solar power light here attached to some string lights that don't appear to be turning on when I click on the on-off button, or sometimes they turn on for a little bit and then turn off. So let's fix it. All right, first things first, I disconnected the string lights from the solar panel, and I'm going to start by taking out the first light, and I'm going to test to make sure that the light works, and then I'm going to use my power supply paired up with my voltage meter to see which of these pins is power and see if I can get power to the lights. All right, remove the light from the housing, and if you look very closely, you can see risk of fire, use max 1 watt, but what we really care about there is max 3 voltage type S lamp. So we know we want to use maximum of 3 voltage for this particular setup here. Usually you can find this information somewhere on the product. I don't have the manual or the box or anything else, so I had to look on the product itself to find this info. So now that I have that, I can turn on my power supply, whack it up to the voltage that I want. I'm gonna go just under the desired amount, so I'm gonna go 2.9 or just under the maximum, and now I'll be able to test if the bulb works. So the positive in a light bulb always goes on the bottom here, and the negative always goes on the side here. So here we go. All right, we see the bulb is working. All right, the next thing I want to do is determine which of these pins in here is positive and which one is negative. So as we saw, the positive is on the end of the bulb, so we want to figure out if the bottom piece of metal there contacts to the right or to the left pin. Usually it's the right pin, so I'm going to guess there. So here's the setup. I've got a low amount of voltage, just 1 volt, running through the pin right now, so I don't risk damaging the bulbs or anything else. Then I've got the alligator clip for the negative from the power supply here, connected up to the negative probe on my my voltage meter, and I've got the positive obviously connected up here. So what I should be able to do now is I should be able to take the positive side of the voltage meter, touch it to the bottom, and if that's the right pin, that voltage meter should go to 1 volt. And there we go, 1 volt. So just for posterity, if this was connected to the left pin, what would happen is if I touched the side here, it would go to 1 volt. We can see when we touch the side, we don't get any reading at all. So I'll switch those pins up and just show you that that works as well. All right, there we go. We got the hot side connected to the left pin now. Same setup as before. And now when we go and we touch the wall, we can see that we have our 1 volt there. So we can verify that the left pin is going to the wall, which would be this part of the bulb, and the right pin there is going to go to the end of the bulb there. All right, now our moment of truth. We got our power, the hot side hooked up to the right pin, the negative hooked up to the left pin. We've got our 1 volt, and we've got our finger on the dial, ready to dial it up. As you can see, nothing's on there yet, but if we turn this on and we start moving this up, when we get up to about 2.5 volts, we should start to see, there it is. So it says no more than 3 volts, so at 3 volts, this is pretty bright. If we turn that down, that's 2.9, 2.8, 2.7, 2.6, 2.5, 2.4, and 2.3 and below, it's off. So yeah, so we know the string lights are good. So the issue must be something to do with this panel right here. So I was wondering what's going on with this panel. There's no information about the manufacturer or anything on here. So it's just a kind of generic brand. I'm not sure who made this in the first place or anything like that. But I did notice there is over here a little USB port. So I was able to plug it in for a little bit and charge it up So I could verify at least that it wasn't anything with the solar panel. So charged up and plugged in and turn on, it's still, sometimes it turns on for just a second and then turns off. Sometimes it doesn't turn on at all. So very confusing. But I cracked the code and figured out that if I actually, I'll pick one of these up here. See, turn it on. I'm clicking the on-off button. Oh, see, it sometimes turns on a little bit and then turns off. It's very confusing, but it's very simple. Actually, the solar panel itself has some kind of light sensor in it. So if I put it up to my shirt or anywhere where it thinks it's dark, the light will come on. If I point it up to the light, it will turn off. So all that testing just to figure out that actually it's a feature of this product and everything's working great. So we're good to go.